Torben. I'm an international student here at UCCS. This is my junior year and I'm studying sport management.
My name is Vítězslav Russell and I am junior here at UCCS, majoring in digital filmmaking.
So my name is Heidi Nivote. I am technically a third-year student, but I'm considered a sophomore in the nursing program.
What struggles do I encounter as an international student? There's so many. Just from getting visa.
Getting around, that's especially hard in the first couple weeks.
Not having a support system in place here at UCCS since my family is so far away.
Cultural differences.
Getting here, just filling out all the paperwork.
Paying tuition is especially a big problem because there are not a lot of scholarships available for international students.
There's so many different ones.
So some restrictions I have as an international student, probably the one that comes up to me right away is the 20 hours rule, that I can just work 20 hours on campus.
The fact that we can work only 20 hours.
I'm limited to only 20 hours a week.
Especially since I have free time, besides studying and sport, I would like to work, but I always have to pay attention that I don't get over these 20 hours of working.
The other restrictions include class things, so we have to maintain a certain amount of credit hours to remain within status of our visas. We're also only allowed to take one online class at a time, so that can get a little challenging.
So other restrictions I've come across is I wanted to apply for an RA position here, but it's listed at 25 hours right now, which even if you don't clock in for it, it's the estimated time that you have to work. And since you're only allowed to work 20 hours as an international student, I kind of was told that I'm not allowed to do that. I'm still talking to the people, so might figure that out. But as of right now, this is one of the biggest struggles, that I was looking forward to do something, but I couldn't do it. Well, the other thing that I might, other struggles is the one where I get because I don't have a bank account here. I have an international bank, but it doesn't work for the payment, so I don't get the direct deposit, so they only pay me in checks. But the checks arrive 2 to 3 weeks later, which then I can't get it over the summer. If I work until the last day, and then I can't get the money after I come back for break. So that's probably one other struggle or something.
Did I know about the fact that school took money from my paycheck to the TIAA program?
So first of all, I didn't know that the school is taking away money from jobs here to put into a retirement account that you're not eligible to as an international student. I wasn't told about that. And I wish, especially if you're getting hired, that people would just talk about that more, and that you kind of know what you're doing, or know what you're signing up for.
I was not made aware of this. Over the summer, I started working 40 hours a week because we were eligible for that during the summer, and it was only 2 months into the summer that another student had come to me and told me that they were getting a pension, that they were getting retirement plan taken, and then that's when I did more research and found out that they were taking from me as well. But before that, I was not made aware that they were taking retirement plan money.
I didn't know it until I saw it on my paycheck, where it said that the school took almost $300 to this retirement plan. So then I went to investigate, and I emailed the student employment, and they told me that I'm not eligible for. So I was like, okay, so I have almost $300 in this, what am I supposed to do? So they told me to go to CU Boulder, Office of International Tax Recommendations or whatever, that I never heard before about, and they told me that I have to have an appointment with them before they can give me the money back. So I found it out. The school didn't tell me about it. The school didn't let me know that I'm not eligible for, or the fact that they were taking money from me.
When I started working at UCCS, I was not given any specific training on what the rules were. I was given, from the department that I started working for, specifics on what their rules were for general students, and then I had to go and find out more information from the international office on what they expected from me and what the rules were.
So when I started working for UCCS, I'm working at the pool right now. They didn't give me any special training for like international rules or something. Of course I got trained as a lifeguard, but I wasn't told anything about like the financial part of the job. I was just being told what I earn, what everyone else earns, but there wasn't like specifically anything about like international students and how they get paid.
So when I started working for UCCS, there were no additional training for international students, any mandatory one to say. And that was a big struggle for me because my manager scheduled me to work for 25 hours a week, which at the time I wasn't aware of the fact that I could work only 20 hours. That is also fall on my side, but I feel like the school could have had a mandatory meeting when you get a job as an international student where you go and they tell you what are the rules. And the only time that I was told by the school that the rule is one of the international emails, which we get 30 emails a day, so I didn't really notice that there was a 2-sentence line that we can work only 20 hours. And then I end up leaving the country for Mexico for a day and coming back because my I-20 got cancelled because of the fact that my manager didn't know, I didn't know, and yeah, I had to get my new I-20. Do I think that school could help out international students more?
I think that the school can help out international students a little bit more. I know there are some resources, like we get emails, we have the international office, but I think they could host like more events or something where students actually learn about like whatever it is, like just like taxes or something that are being hosted on campus, because I know a lot of like most international students live on campus or like around campus, so they could host in-person meetings for them and just have a like face-to-face conversation probably helps more than just sending out emails where like we get like 30 emails per day where you might just read over it. So just a little bit more effective communication about that.
Had a lot of experience with trying to get help with financial aid and being pushed around between financial aid office and the international office. So if they had more of an open environment for you to come where they can actually give you better information on international services and how they can help you, that would be a lot more helpful towards us. I also believe that it would be beneficial for them to help a bit more with getting financial aid from either the school, so in regards to scholarships and that, because I was not made aware of how to look for outside scholarships since there aren't as many available for international students from UCCS. So helping us find scholarships, but also training us on how to apply for scholarships, because that's often something that we are not taught in school, is how to write the essays for the scholarships and what makes a good scholarship application. So I think having more help in that regard would really be beneficial to international students.
I definitely think they could. First of all, there could be more and better meetings about what are the rules for international students. We have no on-school help with taxes. We are pretty much high schoolers coming to a new country, not knowing how taxes work, and then we are told, do your taxes, we're not gonna help you, there is a website. And it's like, wow, we have no idea. Our parents won't be able to help us too, because they are not from the US, they don't know how it works here. So if the school would have better resources, not just some outside resource, but actually on campus resources where we could go and figure out our taxes, that would be great. The another thing I think that would help is the fact that we don't have any mandatory trainings about when we get jobs, so we don't know what all the rules are, and we usually find out the hard way, as I did. So it would be nice if the school also did something like that. And the last thing, when the school actually has meetings about CPT and OPT, which is internships and working at school, they have these meetings at times that we have school or work. It's like 3 p.m. Like that's the most common time for class, and there is no like we can't attend those meetings. We don't have the time to go to these meetings at 3 p.m. So I think that if the international office would reach out to the international students and find out what's the best time for them, that would be great too.
Is there any resources that I would like to have as an international student? I think for me personally, what I've experienced where I would kind of like to have a resource or like a little bit more resources is about like paying taxes, especially if you get a scholarship, because I know they provide you with an external company that can like kind of help you, but it's like there's nothing real on campus where you can get help with that. Especially with an international student, you're not like well informed about like how to pay taxes in a different state, maybe not even in your home country, but like just growing up and kind of figuring that out. That was like a harder process where I wished I had a little bit more resources where people would kind of tell me what to do.
Any specific resource that I would like to have the most is definitely something that would help out with the laws of and restrictions that goes with being international student, because a lot of them I had to find out just going around and asking, not at school. It had to be always somewhere else. The school doesn't help, and if it does barely. So I think if there would be more help from school helping with the laws and stuff like that, that would be great.
So I think another way that they could really help international students is by not making the workshops for OPT and those things in time that we have classes, because I haven't been able to attend any of the workshops because it's all been in my class time as well as my work time. And because I don't get a lot of help financially from the school, I'm having to work the maximum amount of hours that I can, and along with being in nursing school, and that leaves very little time for me to actually attend any of these events that they're holding. So maybe making sure that they're having them in appropriate times and making sure that other students are actually able to be there. Another thing is having other workshops. So maybe more help on tax paying and how that whole process works, because coming to the US, I had no idea how to do taxes. I had no idea how the US did taxes. My parents had no idea, and it's been a big struggle because every time you ask anyone for help, especially from the school, their first response is, "We're not allowed to help you. Here's an email, but those people also won't be able to help you." So I've had a lot of trouble with that over the past 2 years that I've had to pay my own taxes. Especially this year, I got a letter from the IRS stating that I owed $5,000, which first made me panic. And I was stressing that I'd done something wrong, because $5,000 was a lot of money and I didn't even make that much. So how was it possible? And I emailed the school about it, and they were no help. They said to me that they weren't able to help me, and that I need to figure it out on my own. They didn't give me any advice on how to contact the IRS, who to contact, none of that. So I did end up getting a hold of an IRS employee who was able to help me, and it was a mistake on their end. But this is something that could have been so much worse and a lot more serious, and I got no support from the university on that end.